Okay, it's preparing our live stream. Done. And we are live. Okay, it's preparing our live stream. Perfect, perfect. So today on Monday morning, we have Jagdeep with us. Finally, it's an honor to have you here, JD. And he's a part of our community, popularly known as JD. And he is from Maharashtra, Ahmednagar. Recently, he finished. Perfect. So today on Monday morning, we have Jagdeep with us. Finally, just hold on. It's an honor to have you here, JD. And he's a part of our community. Okay, so sorry for that. And we are live on YouTube as well. Let me share this link with my community people so you can watch us live as well, right? And you can ask your questions. Like as you already know that Jagdeep finished Comrades. This is like one of the toughest human race, and it happens every year in South Africa. And he prepared for that, and he successfully finished that race. Jagdeep, really congratulations. I'm honored to have you here today with us and
Thank
interviewing
you.
this.
Good morning, everyone. Good to see you. Thank you, Ishan. Thank you for having me over.
Yeah. So Jagdeep, let's get started without wasting time further. And we would like to know a little background, like when you joined the community and what you all do and how it all started. Over to you.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Good morning. This is Jagdeep Makkar. I reside in a small city named Ahmednagar, which is in Maharashtra, which is around 100 kilometers from Pune. Basically, I am from an entrepreneur background. I am into the chemicals and coatings industry. I have some manufacturing units here. So running came to me at the age of 37. Like when I was married, I already had one daughter. I never had a sports background. I was never an athlete. So running came to me out of nowhere, actually. And just one fine morning, I'd gone for a morning walk and I saw some people running, and that started making me curious. Yeah, why are these people running? And all of them, they were not uh, professional athletes or young children. I could see, people of my age, 35, 40, 45, some of them. So somewhere that curiosity started, though it did not get into me immediately. Um, so it was an everyday affair. I used to go for a little walk in the morning, and I used to see these people dedicatedly running, and sometimes they used to run too fast. Sometimes they were running slow. Sometimes they were doing some kind of exercises. So that somehow brought some curiosity. Then after a few days, I heard like there was an announcement in the city that there is some Nagar Rising marathon happening. So I was very curious, what is all this marathon about? Many of my friends had signed up for a 3 kilometer run. And they told me, yeah, it's not essential that you have to run. It's more of a fun event. Let's go. We'll go enjoy, do some pictures and all. सबसे मिलना हो जाएगा. So that's the reason I thought, ठीक है. So I also signed up with them, though we never had any intention of running or anything, nor did we prepare about it. But then when I went with them, so there were also categories like the 10-kilometer category and a 21-kilometer category. So I was a little amazed, like 21 kilometer, how would someone like run? I wasn't very sure. And the run, Ahmednagar is surrounded by hills. So we have a lot of hilly terrain in the outskirts. So the route for this 21 kilometer and 10 kilometer was elevated. It had some elevations. The 21 kilometer had a good we have a attraction spot, tourist attraction spot here in the name of Salabat Khan tomb, which is located on the top of a hill. So the runners had to go till the tomb and come back. So we were wondering, all of our friends, yeah, we were like, who would go? And nobody can go and run and come till there. For us, it was like people have signed up, but I don't think ये किसी से हो सकता है. But when the race got over and we saw the people, like so many people who finished and they were very fresh, they were enjoying the post event like us, taking pictures, having fun. So, and when we heard the timings, like, we have a big army base here. So there were a lot of army athletes also who had participated. So timings were wonderful. Like they were surprising for us. Like as far as I recollect, the who had come first, he did it in some 1 hour, 13 minutes or something. So all
Yes.
of my friends, we were, so that was the talk for the next 2, 3 days. How
Mm.
can people
How
do
can
this? Yeah,
someone?
yeah.
Yes.
How
Yes.
can run and so much? And oh my God, 1 hour, 13 minutes. इतना time तो हम scooter पे जाएंगे तो लगेगा. So, all those kind of thoughts, because we never had this idea of even if we would walk for more an hour in the sun, so we would feel so drained out. So this was something very new to us. Then after that, I got connected to like I had an interaction with the same morning group which I used to see running. Once their workout was over and I was walking by, so I knew one of them. I generally greeted them, and then I started a conversation that what is all this and how. So they gave me a brief that we all run. Matlab they had also started recently. It was an year or so, and they were preparing for Tata Mumbai Marathon. So
Okay.
they asked me whether you have registered. They thought probably I was also into running, but I had no clue about what was all this about. So I told them, no, I haven't registered. Can I register now? So they said, no, the registrations happen, months back for Tata Mumbai Marathon. So you will have to do it for the next year. So I was like, okay. Then they invited me that if you want to run, you can come and run with us also. So I thought it's a good idea. Let's see how it goes. So initially, I started going with them. Like I started in the morning, where so I got to know a lot of basic things. Like you
Yes.
have to warm up before the run.
Warm
There
up.
are some
Yeah.
stretches which has to be done. So I had no idea about all this.
Yeah.
So I was finding it a bit interesting. So there was something new to do. So automatically I got inclined to it.
Mm.
So slowly I started like this. They told me that you don't have to rush and just start with walk jog. But these guys used to run good, like 5 kilometers non-stop. When I tried running on the first day with them, I could not even run a 1 kilometer in one stretch. I started like with full energy, very fast, but within 3-4 minutes, I was like
You're gone.
300-400 meters I was panting, and I could not even actually run a 1 kilometer. Like 800-900 meters, I had to literally stop, bring control of my breath back, and then again start walking and all. So then this continued for a few days. I tried, but I could not go till there. And then somewhere or the other, I started feeling some kind of pains coming in.
Mm.
But then this was of my interest. Somewhere, I was feeling I must. I used to feel I
You
am
can.
very fit,
Yeah.
frankly. Yeah,
Your
because I
body
was never
can feel.
overweight.
Ah.
My body was never overweight. So I was
Yes.
always under this impression that this is I can easily do this. But
I
when I
can.
could not do it, so that also
Mm.
started hitting me why I cannot do this. If I am not overweight, if my body looks fine, so why cannot I like how they are running? They are elder to me. Some few people were like 5 years, 7 years more elder to me, and they
Mm.
were doing it comfortably. They were doing running 10 kilometers at a stretch. So why could I not do it? So for me, then I started. Then I was on social media, so my
Mm.
interest changed. So I started following people. I started checking out on people who are into running. And then the best part of social media is they start giving you suggestions yourself.
Ah,
So one
yeah.
after the other, one after the other, one
Follow this
after the
guy.
other.
Follow that.
So
Yeah.
whoever I saw, yeah, he's a runner. He runs this much. So I
Mm.
started, following them.
Um,
Uh, so sim- so one fine day, in this following series, I came across one athlete from New Delhi, Sonali Mahant. So her profile was very interesting. Like being a lady runner, till then I never knew that women also were very active, and they could also be very strong runners.
yes.
So that profile, when I saw her profile, so when I was going through her page, I saw that every second post was that she was on the podium somewhere, some race she was being awarded a medal. And then I read about her basics, whatever she was writing. So somewhere I could connect that she's also just like a normal, you can say, a
Mhm.
normal person, not an athlete, a
Normal
professional
background.
athlete.
Yes. Yes.
She's
Yes.
also a normal, she was a normal entrepreneur
Yeah.
who is doing this for pleasure and fitness and passion. And then I felt that if she can do it, being a lady, managing work, so why cannot? So then I tried contacting her. I sent her a request, a message that I have just started, but I am facing a lot of issues. I'm not able to pick up or progress. So can you help me? So she was very kind enough. On the same day only, after few hours, I received a message that she's glad to hear from me, and it will be her pleasure. She can give me a few tips or so. So we had a very short conversation. She shared a number, and then only thing she suggested me was that if you want to do this, like if you want to pursue it for a longer term, it's always better that you go for a good coach, because
Mhm.
he will be in a position to analyze you on a day-to-day basis, see your progress, and help you grow, and also help you to understand how much your body can perform. Generally, what happens, you cannot self-evaluate yourself.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
sometimes you need to stop somewhere,
Mhm.
so which you don't realize, like
Yes.
it is your coach who will tell you that now this is your limit, that's it, you
Yeah.
must stop here, otherwise you might land up into injury or something similar. So that is also very essential. So I took her advice, and in fact I asked her for a suggestion that, so she knew Ishan, and she told me that I will get you connected to him. You can have an initial discussion and see how it works out for you. So I was okay with the idea. Um, uh, she shared the number. Then me and Ishan, we had our first
Yeah.
telephonic conversation. I was a little nervous, frankly, because I wasn't of that background, and how much I had heard from Sonali that he himself was a very, you can say that elite category athlete with a lot of recognitions. So I wasn't sure that, why will he be interested in training someone like me who cannot run even, 1 kilometer. And then he's sitting in New Delhi. I am sitting in
Yeah.
Ahmednagar. Now
Yeah.
this Zoom and all these concepts, these got popular after
After this
COVID.
COVID. Yes,
Before
absolutely.
COVID, there was nothing,
There was nothing like that.
there
Yeah.
was nothing called as virtual training
Virtual
or
training.
virtual
Yes.
sessions. There was nothing. So the concept, when he explained, he told me that he would send me the training plan on WhatsApp. I have to follow it, and every day I have to revert to him what I have done and what was my experience after doing it. Like, did I feel strong, or if I feel exhausted, or if I had some pains, or any other kind of issues. So I was like, I don't know if this will work or not, but I thought, chalo, let's give it a try, because I did not have any other option, frankly. So,
Yeah.
and somehow, like, sometimes it happens, like, that vibe, and you have that connect. So, um, on day one only, I think both of us connected very well. It was
Yeah.
less of a coach and trainee
Training.
relationship, but somehow we bonded. It was just like family, more than friends. It was like, so we have always been family, Ishan, Sonali, me, and the entire Hello Fitness community since then. In fact, I remember when we created the WhatsApp group, so it was just three of us in the
Just
beginning.
to you.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and in fact
So
it was
audience, JD, sorry to interrupt you. So we started from almost three. So this WhatsApp group, there is more than 100 crossing right now. So we started only with three. And uh,
right.
and that's where Hello Fitness started. And JD is one of the first few online those who were training online with me. So it worked. And JD, you joined, I guess, in the year 2018, if I'm not.
Yeah. I think 2018 end, 29, yeah, 2018 end. Like I unfortunately I had that foot fracture when I
Yeah.
had gone for trekking. It was nowhere related to running injury. So post that, we actually started training. I did my first Tata Mumbai Marathon in 2019, which was, you can say, I feel that was a bigger achievement for me, even than running the Comrades today, because uh, it was a dream for me to run a 21 kilometer. Like I had seen so many runners of the city who were doing 21, and Tata Mumbai Marathon was supposed to be like, you know,
Yeah. Festival. It's like a
yeah,
festival.
not only a festival, but what impression I had got from runners here, that if you conquer Tata Mumbai Marathon, you have really achieved something big.
Yes.
It's a very tough route, and then the weather is in Mumbai is so humid and harsh. And then you have that pedal road coming in on the 17th, 18th kilometer, which is, where till then your body is fully exhausted. And so a lot of stories. And
Yes.
so with that kind of pressure built up, and I had just 3 months back I had recovered from the foot fracture. And the best part was, before that I had barely run a few 10 kilometers. Like I had never crossed the 10 kilometers mark. So it was like just a span of 3 months, October, November, December, I got to train. I wasn't very confident. I wasn't very you must say I wasn't, there was no chance of being confident that I would finish.
Yeah.
But Ishan was only behind me, that uh, there's no harm in signing up. The amount of signing up is very minimal. If you feel that's something which is bothering you, I will sign up for you. So you just go and stand. How much ever you can do, 5, 7, 10, just do and come. So you at least get to know where you stand. So I gave it a shot. I thought, chalo, let's see. If he has so much belief in me, so why not give it a try? So the training for TMM was very interesting, because I had recovered from the foot fracture. So for the first 2 months, I wasn't allowed to run at all. I started with walking. Ishan told me that you have to just go walk on the mud track. Go every day, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever is comfortable. There shouldn't be any pain. So we started with that. Then December, like October, November was more of little walking. Then December, we started with a little bit of um, cross trainer on zero
Yes.
weight, like with zero resistance.
Zero
So
resistance.
that was a very new thing for me. I have been on a cross trainer. So for the first day, doing a cross trainer for 5-10 minutes was also very exhausting. It had a lot of stress on my back. I gave the feedback to him, and then he said that it's okay. It's a part of the training. As you progress, you will get used to it. The body will get used to it. So we are not in a hurry. 10, 15, 20 minutes, you can slowly progress. So I started doing that every alternate day, stretching exercises, some cross training, some walking. And then December end, thoda sa, he suggested me to do some little jog walk on the mud tracks only. So we did a little bit of jog walk, like for 2-3 kilometers, just to get in tune and to understand if any major pains were coming up. But fortunately, uh, there were no pains. So the race, now January started. Just was just 3 weeks for the race. My nervousness was increasing because I hadn't run, and I could see the runners here running like crazy. Like, every
Mm.
morning they're going running 10. Every Sunday they are doing a 15 kilometer, 20 kilometer. So I was all the time I had this thought, yeah, this is not possible. What you are trying to do, there is
Mm.
no training. And and it was my first experience, so I did not have an idea that, this anything you do in training, these small things, they add up to big things. This is what I have
Yes.
learned actually in my entire journey, even till the Comrades,
Till
that
now, yeah.
yeah, many people think that, if you have to run the Comrades, or like you have to do a 90 kilometer or a 60 kilometers, so you have to do that in training. Like you have to run a lot of 90 kilometers before going and standing there. But that exactly is not the case. Like
Yes.
uh, I did a maximum of 65 kilometers only before going and standing on the start line. So my maximum training run was 65 kilometers.
Longest. Yes.
That's also only twice.
That's
So,
also
when I did this 65 after that, I also had this thought here ki I've just done 65. I have to
65.
run another 25 kilometers. After
Yes.
going there, how can I do this? Being the
Yes. That's
first
how we
attempt,
train.
going in a new country,
Yeah.
uh, running on the hills, so much of temperature variation. But then there was no other option. Whomever I used to speak to, they used to tell me, "Ki, this is how it is. So it's now just going and standing there and giving it your best shot." So coming back to the journey, Tata Mumbai Marathon. So January 2nd week, we decided, I told Ishan, now let's do some road running, I think, because I am getting a little too anxious about all the situation. So
Okay.
then he suggested me to, like, we did started with like a 4 5 kilometer easy walk jog, how much ever I could manage. And then one like 2 weeks before the last Sunday, I remember he told me that you with the group figure out if someone can help you and try to give you company for at least 15 kilometers. You either run, walk, jog, whatever, but try to do 15 kilometers, like that distance, cover that distance. At that point of time, I wasn't using a Garmin and all also. I was on a basic mobile app. So I spoke to a couple of guys, and two of them were kind enough. They told me, ki, yes, no problem. We will give you company, and we'll see to it that you do the 15 kilometers. And it was really, I am also very thankful to them that they actually gave me the company for running the entire distance. Though I could not run very fast like them. Like I used to walk in the middle. Sometimes I was jogging. I was on a slow pace. But after doing that 15 kilometers, that was a new benchmark for me, because I had
Yeah.
never run more than 10 before my injury, and doing
Yes.
a 15-kilometer was a very big achievement for me, and that boosted my confidence.
Yeah.
Then came the race day. So we started, and we had a race plan. Ishan had instructed me, because it was my first professional proper marathon which I was participating in, like a long distance half marathon. Going in another city and doing it out of your comfort zone. So like he told me, come 2 days before, get accustomed to the weather, and then you next day go to the expo, half day come back, you have to rest after that. Next morning you have to get up, wake up, come 2 hours before the reporting time, then the warm up. So there were a lot of little things which had to be taken care of. And being the first time, it was, uh, I had to do a lot of preparations for this also. It wasn't
Yeah.
that easy,
Yes. Yes.
getting your
Putting
kit.
things in
So it was
order.
the first time I would run in a kit. Like, earlier to year, we used to wear whatever, like, for morning walks, a track pant and a t-shirt. So this was the first time I was going to wear a shorts, a
Short.
singlet, a split short, a singlet. So I was excited about that also, getting that feeling of looking like other runners, professional runners. So stood on the start line, the race started, and I was only instructed to go by the feel, like, just enjoy, not over stress, over push. And I followed that. And by God's grace, I could finish well. I finished it in 2 hours and 36 minutes. That was my first half marathon,
First off.
uh, which was a very big achievement for me. But when I came back, so when I spoke to the runners of the community here, with who gave me some company, they were also very happy about it. They were said that it was a very good run for you, seeing you from where you have come, overcame an injury, and this was your first marathon. So they were also very happy about it. And then from there, there was no looking back. The
Don't looking back.
confidence level had
Absolutely.
boosted up.
Mm.
But I never had this plan of or this thought of running long distance. After that, my focus was only that I have to improve. Generally, it happens with all the runners. Like once you do one distance, So next time when you want to do it, you feel that you should do it faster. You should do
Fast.
it faster, even if you are on a personal best after 5 years. So I'm sure all the runners who are hearing this, everyone has this thought that every time he goes for a race, he feels, nahi, I want to do better than what I did last time. Nobody would say that, nahi, yaar, agar last time jitna bhi ho gaya, tha, I'm happy. So
Absolutely.
that's not the scenario. And I think that's also a kind of motivation that keeps you, on your toes when
Coming
you're
back. Yeah.
training, and you train sincerely only if you have that goal. Otherwise, I don't think getting up every day, and doing the same activity, running on the roads. Half of the people, as it is, think that you are insane. These guys don't have any other work in life. They just get up and start running.
Yeah.
Who have no idea about what this is
Yeah.
all about.
Yeah.
Uh, so
I
that's
hear you all the
the
time.
so I never had this thought. So for the next 2 3 years, my focus was only on running 10Ks, running 21Ks, improving on times, and I considerably every race I went. So yes, there was definitely some improvement. I don't remember after that any race I went to where I could not break my previous timing,
Previous
irrespective
conference.
of the location, irrespective of the terrains. Some trains are flat, some trains
Mhm.
are hilly, and somehow, the hilly trains, uh, I started loving them. I got attracted to them. I don't know how. Like my body also started performing good on the hills, though they were tough. So some tough races which I did earlier was the Satara Half Hill Marathon, which is
Yes.
considered to be one of the toughest hill marathons of the country. A very reputed, very famous marathon. One marathon, where runners are queued up early in the morning at 6 a.m. when the registration starts. The entire slot is not, it is not more than even an hour that the slot is booked
Yeah.
off.
Not to
And
go.
thousands of runners. I think last which I did this season, there were around 7,500 runners across the country who had come to run the race.
Mhm.
Satara otherwise is not a very big city. It's a small city, but it's magical. One who has love for running the hills must definitely come and run the Satara Half Hill Marathon sometime. We have this Aurangabad
Aurangabad.
Heritage Half Hill
Yeah.
Marathon also, which happens in
Yes.
Aurangabad, which is 100 kilometers from here. That is another one interesting hilly route, very nice route. They take you till Ellora Caves, bring you back. They also have a half ultra distance, which is 25 kilometers. So
Okay.
that I have
Yes.
also participated in that and finished very well. I think finished in if I recollect, around 2:22 or 2 hours 22
Some
minutes or something.
somewhere like that. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So so hills, training on the hills for these races, somehow my body got accustomed running on the hills. So now when this thought of running the Comrades came, this thought came 2 years back. One or two of my friends, fellow runners who we used to run together.
Mm.
So generally we were discussing, and then this thought came that we must do the Comrades. There was no one in our city who had attempted the Comrades at that point of time.
Mm.
So that was another one big challenge. Yeah, 90 kilometers. Till then, I had not even attempted a full marathon. I was just a half marathoner. The other two
Yeah.
was more experienced. They had done a lot of full marathons. So I had an initial discussion with Ishan also, though I wasn't mentally prepared myself because I knew the training would be intensive and it would require a lot of time.
Of times.
So my situation at that point of time, considering my business, my family commitments, my social commitments, so I wasn't very sure if I could give so much time for
Mhm.
training and recovery both, managing all these things. I was not in on that stage, at that point of time. Mentally also, I wasn't prepared for doing such a long distance because I hadn't even attempted a full marathon till then. Somehow, and then the COVID drop came in.
Yeah.
So automatically the idea was faded,
Everything
like it
stopped. Yeah.
went, yeah, everything went off, and that the thought went off. But yes, somewhere back of the mind, I had it. And when during the COVID, then this Zoom sessions came in, which were a
Yeah.
blessing.
Yeah.
And that was the time when actually the Hello Fitness community people. Otherwise, I used to meet the community only when I used to go
Only
for
when, yeah,
races.
for the
And
races.
there also,
Yes.
everybody used to not come. There would be selected
Yeah.
people coming for Tata Mumbai Marathon or the Bangalore TCS
Bangalore.
10K or the New Delhi Marathon. So I could only get to meet a few of them for a very small, short period, because after race, everyone, once we used to have a breakfast, team breakfast, and after that, everyone, had their own schedules. Some
Mm.
people had to fly back, some had some other commitments. So with these Zoom sessions coming in, and in that COVID times when all of us were locked in the houses, there was nothing to do, and
Yeah.
it was a boon actually. It was a blessing.
Same.
uh, Ishan also took this good initiative that we can connect on Zoom, and all the community members also um, responded well. Otherwise, what happens? Like some people feel, "Yeah, what is all this? Who will do this? अभी घर पे है, we are on such a chill mode. यहाँ कोविड चल रहा है, बीच में ये एक्सरसाइज कौन करेगा ऑनलाइन आके?" So everyone responded well, and we started enjoying the sessions. We used to look forward, though they were not aggressive because we were in the house. So the
Yeah.
idea was not about doing a lot of very aggressive exercises, or but it was just about connecting, getting yourself fresh, some basic stretching, basic exercises for it was more of, you can say, less of exercises, more of thought exchange,
Yeah.
experiences exchange, and
Seeing
not
each
only
other.
about running, but knowing each other better,
Knowing
what
each
all
other.
we do in life,
Mm.
our own experiences in our own professional field. So it became a, everyone used to look forward to it every evening when
Yeah.
the session was scheduled, because as it is, everybody was sitting at home and we
At
had
home.
nothing else
Yeah.
other than the mobile phone or the television.
Yeah.
So
Especially
this
during
was,
the first COVID, the
yeah,
first lockdown.
so yeah, well, in the first lockdown, when there where we could actually not even step out of the house. So that was a very good mind refresher. Lots to learn other than running, other than fitness. But and that brought the family close actually. That brought the community close. So irrespective of whether whatever goals you have in fitness or running, the community got bonded. Like, it wasn't that, generally, otherwise what happens, um, people with similar goals, they bond
Mm.
fast, and they have more interactions because they have similar goals, whether it is speed,
Yeah.
whether it is distance. But there, here, this wasn't that. The case was different.
Mm.
Then after COVID going, I decided that now it's time to level up. And
Yeah.
then I started discussing with Ishan that now I wish to do a full marathon. So Ishan said he was okay with the idea. He said we have a lot of time also in hand, because July, August, uh, this went on the COVID. Like there was some relaxation in the
Some
lockdown,
relaxation. Yes.
and then we could actually get out and start running.
Mm.
Though I was running individually. After that, I did not run in any of the groups for both the reasons. One, the major reason was COVID, because even if there was relaxation in our city, we were not allowed to gather in groups.
Mm. Yeah.
So when I started running alone, so the mind also started getting a bit more focused and stronger. When I was running with a group, there were a lot of distractions. At times uh, the plans were not followed, or sometimes you go in a group and then someone says, "Yeah, let's not do speed today. Let's chill out. Let's." So there were deviations.
Third
But now
division.
when I started running alone, so there were no deviations, because I knew only one thing. I have to run this much at this speed. I had my Garmin and nobody else. So the
Mm.
focus was very simple. Get
Yeah.
out, wear your running shoes, and do this, come back and get back to work.
Yeah.
So, uh, so it started working well. Initial first one was very difficult because 3 4 months we were totally out of running. So it was very difficult to get back to the distance also and to the pace also, both the things. Like it wasn't where I left it. It was like 4 6 months behind. I felt myself that I was 6 months behind. The paces which I could touch easily were too difficult now. I wasn't able to touch them, and if I was even touching them, I wasn't able to hold them for a longer distance.
Yeah.
So that was another challenge. So it was like again beginning from, but within a month's time, the body started responding well, and again then the distance started coming in, the kilometers started coming in, and we started long distance running on the weekends. Um, and then the New Delhi Marathon was announced. So we
Yeah.
thought that yes, now this is the time where, and because being in Delhi, Ishan said he personally would be there in Delhi. So I was also a bit comfortable that let's give it a shot. Before doing that, I did the Tata Mumbai half marathon also.
Yeah.
And
And in what time this time?
Tata Mumbai, I think the next which had done, I did it in 2 hours and 1 minute,
Yeah. From 2:30 to 2 hours.
from 2:36 to 2:01, which was a major achievement. And my personal best for Tata Mumbai half marathon, because after that I could not attempt the half marathon. I did a full marathon this year because I had to qualify for the Comrades,
For the
and
conference.
Tata Mumbai was a qualifier for that.
Right.
So then, with the New Delhi Marathon coming in, I traveled to New Delhi. I was all alone. Again, the same anxiety. First time, I trained alone this time. Acha, again, here it was the same story. My longest training run was only 35 kilometers. That also
5:30.
only
Yeah.
only once,
Once.
and 130 kilometers. So
Mm.
again, I had this thought, yeah, only 35. इसके बाद भी 7 किलोमीटर करना है. Tough. How will I do it? But then it was again, I had to keep that faith in my training, in all the efforts, whatever plans I followed. Uh, so I took my flight, arrived Delhi, checked in, and the next day went to the JLN Stadium. The vibe there was amazing. Met all my Hello community family there, and we don't have a proper stadium in Ahmednagar. So, I never get that feel of, once you enter the stadium, you see so many athletes of all
Mm.
kinds working out, such a vibrant and cheerful and energetic atmosphere. That pumped me. That gave me a lot of energy. My anxiety went off. Then I got this opportunity to run on a track. We don't get uh, chance to run on the
Right.
400-meter tracks here.
Yeah.
We do all the road running here. We don't have a proper, in fact, we don't have a track here. We don't have a synthetic track in our city. So the feel was amazing. I felt like, a very, you can say, a celebrity runner running on a
Oh, yeah.
running track,
Yeah.
and being the COVID times, even at that point of time, the COVID not wasn't fully relaxed.
Yes.
So it wasn't overcrowded. So,
Mm.
you had the track to yourself.
Mm.
We were there till a later time. So, a lot of the athletes, they come early morning, they finish their workouts and go off. So that was another experience. Um, then the next day was all set to run the race. Again, I was the only one from the community to do a full marathon. Everybody was running a half, a 10K. So that was another thing, coming to Delhi, flying alone, staying alone, going to the stadium alone early in the morning. Like I had to reach there before, like I had to leave the hotel at 4:30 a.m. There was nobody whom I knew after going there. I had to warm up myself, stand on the finish start line myself. But yes, these all things make you learn a lot of things in life, that, like they say, you have to run your own race. So it
Yeah.
is not only about marathons, but even in life, your
Mm.
business, your family, everything, you have to run your own race. You will get a lot of suggestions, you will get a lot of advices, but ultimately you are the one who has to go through everything. You have to face the things and move ahead.
Yeah.
So this is what I learned in Delhi also. It's okay, like, uh, although you are alone, but you have to do it. Ultimately, even in the race, you have to run for yourself. Nobody's going to pick you up and take you till the finish line. So I was well. I reached well in time, warmed up myself. There was nobody whom I knew, but that was okay. I started, and again I finished the race, my debut full marathon in 4 hours 46 minutes, and I was comfortable, strong. So I was happy. I have learned one thing from Ishan and from the entire community, that you must learn to embrace whatever you are achieving. Generally what happens, uh, if you are always just tied to numbers, whether it is distance or the timing, so whatever you achieve, you don't enjoy that. You are just looking for what you have not achieved, so that spoils the fun.
Yeah.
So I have kept goals, but I never get disappointed. You know, because your goals should be something which keep you motivated, which should give you motivation. They should not discourage you, or they should not demoralize you. So I would also recommend that one must always set realistic goals. If you are performing, if your body is supporting, that doesn't mean that every time you think of uh, instead of going step by step, you want to jump like from a level
Yeah.
1 to level 10. So
Level 10, yeah.
that will never motivate you. That will definitely discourage you, because when you are too strong about attempting a particular distance or a particular timing, and you are not able to achieve it on the race day, so that definitely demoralizes you a lot. So you must always set realistic goals. And I would say the best person who would help you in doing this is your coach, because he understands you well. He knows your body more than you. He can analyze what you can't even identify. How your body performs, at what distance, at what time, at what splits, at what interval. When he studies your splits during the training, during the runs, so he knows ki after what kilometer your body is starts getting slower, to
Hmm.
what extent it starts getting slower. So all these things matter a lot. So it is always essential that you must respect the decision, the suggestions of your coach. Keep faith on him. um, I have been lucky enough, not only in case of Ishan. I had a local support coach also here, who was in
Yes.
consultation with Ishan, who's helped me a lot
Yeah.
to achieve this. It wouldn't have been possible for me. So it was all about the faith. Even with him, when I was doing some strength training or some core training, so I had that faith. If he's telling me to do this, so I have to do this. Okay,
Hmm.
I didn't have to every time get on to the Google on the net and see, search
Check.
on the Google why this is happening or what others are doing. So you have
Yeah.
to understand one thing: everybody is different, everybody
Correct.
performs in a different way, everybody is different. So what is working for others might not work for you. What is working for me might not work for you. So you have to understand yourself what is working for you.
Hmm.
So
And
that
surrender to the
is,
process.
yeah, so that is what is important. You have to understand what is working for you. Give the correct feedback to your coach. Sometimes the coach gives you a workout which works well. You have to give him the feedback that this is working. Sometimes there are some workouts which your body doesn't respond to. You have some kinds of pains coming in, some kinds of issues coming in. So that feedback also needs to be given.
Yeah.
Sometimes people don't give those feedbacks, thinking that they are the coach might think, or he might bring down the intensity, or he might tell me not to, he might change my goals. So I think whatever will happen for the best. Ultimately it is about your personal fitness, and you must not land up into any kind of injury which would you know keep this major macro goal of your fitness aside, because of getting over committed or
Yeah.
over ambitious, I would say. Definitely you should keep ambitions and goal, but I would suggest that it should go step by step. You should not be in a rush. Like, now even today, now the situation is like, now I just attempted my first Comrades Marathon. I finished it well. I, by God's grace, my training, touchwood, I recovered well. I
Mm,
am back on normal. I have started my easy recovery runs, training, basic training. I am comfortable. So
mm,
now everybody who meets me, though they appreciate me, congratulate me for achieving but most of them have the next question, what is your next goal
what
now?
is the next goal now?
So my answer to everybody is, like, people, they have these random suggestions. Now do the Iron Man, now do
Do
this,
that,
now do
man.
that.
Do that,
So I
yeah.
told them, even today, I am still trying to, completely absorb this
Absorb, yeah.
achievement. It is still, yeah, I mean, it is a very big achievement
Yes,
for me
absolutely.
personally. See,
For
there
us
have
as well.
been,
It's
yeah,
very
thousands
big.
of runners who have done it. I am not saying that I have done something extraordinary which nobody has done or nobody can do it. But as a person, at the age of, I am running, my current running age is 41. At this age, with a big family, with business, with two children, uh, achieving this distance, this is something very big for myself. Like, I am not
Yeah,
comparing it to somebody else, but for me, where I started from 900 meters, and from
yeah.
there doing a 90-kilometer within
Yes.
a time span of 12 hours on the hills, is something I actually never dreamt of. When I
Mm,
started running, I had never thought of even running a full marathon. When I
mm,
was doing half marathons, so many people used to tell me that you are so good at running, you must do a full marathon. But it never came from inside.
yeah.
So I used to always tell people, ki, maybe I can do it, but it is not coming from inside. For
Mm,
me, running is, it should bring me happiness. So
yeah.
abhi tak that call is not come from inside. I am enjoying what I am doing. When that call comes from inside, I will definitely
Yeah.
attempt it. And same was with Comrades. Like, I wasn't in a rush. Um,
Even let
Definitely
me tell
because,
my audience, JD, sorry to interrupt you again.
yeah,
Let me tell my audience. So we always have that JD discuss all this with me. Said,
right.
hey, I want to take part in half marathon, whether it is good for me or not, or how good training will go, and that's how he's achieving all these results. Right. Please, JD,
So,
go ahead.
in fact, for the Comrades also, when we decided, so first thing was, I spoke to Ishan. I
Yeah.
told him, yeah, this has been on my mind for a long time. Though I wasn't mentally prepared, so I never brought this idea to you. But now somewhere, this is it is bringing me excitement. It's somewhere, it is coming from inside. Yeah, give it a shot.
Give it a shot.
So he has always been supportive. Even if he has to say no for something, he would not directly tell it. Ki, nahi, nahi, what is this nonsense you are thinking? So it's like, he has a very correct way, the right way to put it. So when I had this thought, this was like, immediately after we did the New Delhi Marathon. Um, so in a very systematic way, he put it to me, ki, considering your lifestyle, considering your commitments, and now your age in running, actually, not my actual physical age, but my age in running, which was like 3 years. He said, um, uh, matlab, this can be achieved, but it would require a lot of, there are a lot of aspects which need to be taken care of. It will not only be your training part, but then how will you balance your business? How will you balance your
Yeah.
family time? Because it is going to be a time consuming process.
Yes.
You will have
Yes.
to run a lot of miles, a lot of mileage involved. So I also felt yes, that's true. So then we mutually decided, ki, chalo, let's first think of qualifying it at the Tata Mumbai
Mm,
Marathon. So we started training for Tata Mumbai Marathon. Fortunately, that was my first experience at the Tata Mumbai Marathon, full marathon, and my
full
second
marathon.
full marathon. So again, like I
Yes.
told you, I was lucky enough. Uh, Things were with me, and the training went well. I could finish it in 4 hours and 39 minutes, breaking my previous barrier of New Delhi, which was 4:46. Whereas New Delhi is considered to be
Flat,
uh, an easier route, a
easier
flat
route.
route compared to
Yeah, Tata Mumbai. Jagdeep.
the
Yes.
confidence came in.
Mm.
So now the next thing was uh, next, like generally what happens for the Comrades Marathon. The first attempt for all the comrades, uh, people who wish to do the marathon after qualifying the Tata Mumbai Marathon is the Tata Ultra Marathon, which happens in Lonavala. It's a 50-kilometer run, which
Mm.
happens on the hills of Lonavala. And trust me, um, they are tough. Like
Mm.
if you are not used to running on hills, and if you have not seen what elevation is or how hills are, what is ultra running all about. I
And how your body will
you
respond to all this load going up
uh,
and down. Yeah.
Matlab, when all
Tough.
of us, we had for Tata Ultra Marathon, luckily I had a lot of participants from the city, like me with
Yes.
my three friends who decided together to run the Comrades also.
Mm.
Along with them also, because they have two distance categories, one is the 35 kilometers and one is the 50 kilometers. So we had around 10, 12 people who were interested. So all of us decided that we'll go attempt the Ultra Marathon. Though all
Okay.
of us were training individually, but we decided to go together in a group. So once we reached Lonavala, we went to the expo. So one of them had an idea, ki, let's go and check the route. So yeah, so the expo venue and the start line was from the same venue. So we thought, ki, we are here, we have a lot of time, nothing to do, so let's go. And you won't believe when we started going on the hills, as the elevations started coming in, few
Mm.
turns, few elevations were so steep
Mm.
that personally midway, I decided not to go till the entire route because uh, after seeing the route in the car, it was very difficult even for the car to take
Hard
those
to go up.
inclinations. So,
Mm.
so I thought there is no point in going ahead and seeing the entire route.
Got
I
it.
turned about with few of my friends, though few were still very enthusiastic, and they said, "No, no, you want to see किधर खत्म होगा क्या है?" I said, "You do whatever you want to. I don't want to see more. अब जो होगा
Yeah.
कल, once we
Kal
start
dekhe jayega.
run
Exactly.
करते time, we will see
Uh,
what happens. I don't want to take so much of pressure because that
Sometimes
till there only
overconfident.
I got scared. I literally got
Mm.
scared. I had never done something like this. Acha, and the best, another major challenge was the race flag of time was 1:30 in the night. So this was the first time in my life I would,
Mm.
run in the night.
Mm.
Okay. And another thing, we had to run with the headlights on our head. So
Yes.
this was also for the first time in my life that I would have put a headlight on my head and run. Though I
And
had done one or two
we have
practice runs initially
practice run. So we have
with the
practice with
light
headlight on our
headlight, because otherwise, so it just going and standing there won't make it. Matlab, there wouldn't make any sense, like
yes.
without at least having the feel of running in the night and
Mm.
having a headlight. So I would always suggest and recommend that if anybody is doing any race which happens not in your regular training cycle, like all of us are used to run early morning.
Early
If you are
morning.
doing anything which happens in the afternoon or in the evening or in the night, I would strongly recommend that you must do some training runs in the
Mm.
same time frame so that your body gets used to it.
Used to that.
Your body will not perform the way you think you perform in the morning, because a body is also used to your day cycle. If you're used to resting in the afternoon also, you cannot do some aggressive
Yeah.
exercises or workouts
Mm.
in the afternoon. So
So you have
you
to set
must,
a biological
yeah,
clock as well.
you
Mm.
have to set your biological clock that way. So again, Tata Ultra, it was the same story.
Mm.
Finally, I had to go stand on the start line, start the run, and just keep going, keep going, keep going. It was a very very grueling experience, I must say. Like, but then again, that fear, anxiety of uh, not completing the goal kept me going,
Yeah.
and finally, when the sun came up, I crossed the finish line.
Of the finish line.
And yeah, I could do it in, I think, 5 hours and 50
5 hours.
minutes, which
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
supposed to be a decent time there.
Yes.
So that brought in more confidence, that
Mm.
after running 50 kilometers on the hills, like I could run 50 kilometers on the hills, though it was just halfway.
Mm.
Comrades was
Sound
90.
it
So
is.
I knew
Yeah.
there was a lot of effort to be put in. But
Yeah.
somewhere I felt ki no, matlab, now I felt ki if I put in the right effort, if I put in the right training, follow the training plans, uh, keep a good nutrition,
Yes.
follow all the protocols of recovery. So
Mm.
probably it is achievable. Matlab, previous I had a thought that I could not achieve it.
Yeah.
Matlab, for me, it is something that I will never be
Now,
able to
yeah. Now you
achieve
can
it.
see the path.
Yeah, now I could at least feel ki yaar, if I put in all these things,
Uh,
so I can achieve it. People are already achieving it. It's 100-year-old marathon. So
yeah.
every year thousands of runners go run, achieve. There are runners who have done it 10 times, 20 times, 25 times. We've seen runners there. So
Mm.
the spirit altogether is different there. So but for me personally, I felt that it's not. After the Tata Ultra Marathon, that confidence started kicking in. Somewhere there is a chance. I could see that light coming. Here, I must take this path. And after that, then I finally decided, yes, I will run the Comrades, because I had told Ishan also before that, till Tata Ultra, we will evaluate. If
Yeah.
somewhere
Will
you
and
feel
then take a call.
I cannot do it,
Mm.
or if I feel I cannot do it, so
Mm.
it's going to be a mutual call,
Yeah.
and we will discard the
Yeah.
plan. We'll postpone it. But
For the next
fortunately, I
year.
think both of us came to the same conclusion.
Yeah.
There is no harm in giving it a shot.
Mm.
At least taking that experience of
Mm.
going there. And with that thought, I started training. I had no time goal.
Mm.
My only aim was to go and cross the finish line.
Yes.
Even on
Yes.
the race day, even after putting in all the training, when I stood on the race line, start line, I had only one thing in mind. 12 hours was the cutoff. Even if I finish in 11:59:59,
Mm.
matlab, I would be equally happy what I am today, irrespective of the timing. For me, it was only to. And also I had that mindset that even if unfortunately for some reason I could not cross the finish line, I would not let it demoralize me or demotivate me, because I learned one thing, that during the training, whatever journey I went through in these 3-4 months for after the Tata Ultra till the Comrades, my body definitely went to next levels
Yeah.
in the training. Like I would have never thought of running a 65 kilometers on the hills. Again, night runs, like 12 a.m. we started, and these were all self-support runs. We just
Self-support.
had a few bunch of runners who all of them were running Comrades from Pune, Mumbai, around 50, 70 odd runners. And we did these training runs. There's a place called Lavasa near Pune.
Navasa. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very hilly terrain. So these runs we executed there. Running midnight in the middle of nowhere. It was all forest. And because it was not an event, so it was
Mm.
not that you had people all around you.
People all around.
So,
No.
all these experiences, like, running the whole night. I ran the 65. My timings were like 8 hours, 35 minutes, 8 hours, 50 minutes. So, running for 8 hours midnight under the moon altogether was like a different different experience. I learned a lot in this journey.
Yeah.
So I was of this opinion that just in case, I don't happen to cross the finish line, still I have achieved a lot
Mm.
in the training
Yes.
itself.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I got a in fact one long run was my 42 kilometers long run, wherein again I hit my personal best.
Person press. Yeah, in your
Yeah,
training. Yes, yes,
in my
yes.
training itself, like I think I finished it in some 4 hours 22 minutes or something.
22. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
so all these things, all in all, when I sum up,
Mm.
so I for a 10K also, when I had my tempo runs and all, I finished a sub 50, which was again
Mm.
again one
Great.
goal of mine. But
Yeah.
because now I have was more than a year I was training only for long distance, so whenever I was signing up any race, so it was more about long distance running. I could not sign up a 10K officially and get that timing a sub 50 officially on the
Yeah,
record.
yeah, yeah. Mm.
But yes, now in this coming year, I that is one of my goals, that I want to
It's
have that
good.
official sub 50 on my name in a race, official
Yeah.
sub 2 on my race, my name in a half marathon,
Half marathon.
and and an official personal best on my full marathon.
Nice.
So I have these are my, like, when people ask me that what's your next goal, you're not, so it's
Mm.
not always about having very big goals, like it's not about like, now people tell me that now you must aim at the 100-hour stadium run. Somebody's telling me do this, do the Ironman, do the full Ironman, do the Ladakh 111. So it's not always about bigger. I think it's not always about doing these, huge, uh, even
Yeah.
smaller goals,
Small
which
things.
you
Yeah.
feel is a big accomplishment for you. Is like, if I run my fastest 1 kilometer also, if
Exactly.
someday, if I run a fastest 1 kilometer, I think I would be equally happy what I am now. Because that in itself is a very big achievement. It is only about breaking your own barrier, I feel. Whether,
Yes.
so it has the same importance. It is not how big or how fast, anything. It is about just breaking your barrier. I used to get happy with so little things. Like,
Yeah.
I am not a very good student when it comes to strength training and core training. I am very, you can say, uh, not even those backbenchers,
Uh,
who always finds excuses to how to skip this.
how to
I have
keep this,
thousands of excuses every time that ye ho gaya, wo ho gaya, so many kar paya. So when I was strength training for these for the marathon, now I knew one thing, that I have to get serious in life. If I don't do strength training, my legs are not going to support me. So uh, when I started strength training, so basic things like, I could not even manage to do 10 push-ups.
yeah.
So,
Push-ups were new to
five,
you.
seven
Core
push-ups
was
were
new to
also,
you. Yeah.
yeah. So for me, when I did 10 push-ups in one go,
Yeah.
so that was very big for me. I was so happy. Wow, man, you killed it. So
Mhm.
that is how I feel your journey in this fitness should be, because here there is, there is no end.
There's no
There is
end.
no end.
There's no
You
end.
know, even if you run 100 kilometer, a 150 kilometer, now there are races where you gone up to the extent of 250 kilometers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody was telling me just 2 days back that there is some race happening in America, or somewhere, some desert race,
Mm.
where you have to do a mileage of 250 kilometers. So
Yeah.
there is, I think there is no end, no
Mm-hmm.
end. And so one must enjoy every little achievement what
Mm-hmm.
he's doing in this journey in any form. When I
Mm-hmm.
started cycling, like
Yeah.
cycling was also nowhere in the mind on my mind. Cycling came to us during the COVID.
During the COVID.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so I bought a cycle. So when I did my first 20 kilometers, like it was like, wow, man, 20, because running a 21 is a task, is a big task. But when I started cycling, and in the first attempt I could do a 20 kilometers, so it was like, wow.
Big deal.
He
Mm.
Yeah,
In first
that
attempt, doing
sense
for
of,
20.
yeah,
Yeah.
a sense of accomplishment, you feel good, like, whenever you do something new, however small it may be, uh, for the people, but for you, like what happens when you are achieving. So now, like, if people come to me here, in us is a small city, a lot of everyone knows everyone. So
Mm-hmm.
now, yeah, I have that identity of a runner. So everyone who comes to me, their first question is, आप रोज भागते हो क्या 20-30 किलोमीटर? So for
Exactly.
them, it is like, when I had signed up for Comrades, I had never wanted it to disclose it also.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
fact, I had discussed it with Ishan that till I
Yeah.
don't go there, get the
Mm.
medal, I don't want it to be, well, this was not a publicity stunt or something for
Yeah.
me. For me, it was
Yeah.
just me and myself. I wanted to do it for myself personally.
Mm.
Somehow I had three more friends from here.
Yeah.
They were a little more enthused about it, more excited. So uh, later on, we had, like, after almost the training was done, we felt confident. Our
Mm.
confirmations came in from the
Yeah.
Comrades committee. Then our visas were done. So we disclosed it, or we shared
So,
it
yeah.
basically with the
Mm.
community that now we are going for this attempt, and we want your good wishes so that we can go and finish it.
Yeah.
So like for us, most of the non-runners also who used to meet, who got to know that we will be traveling and doing this.
Mm.
So they, for their first thing, आपके लिए बहुत आसान है, आप तो आसानी से कर लोगे. But see, for them, because what they feel is कि we are running every
Yeah,
day,
running every day.
so doing a 90 किलोमीटर is okay यार, इनके लिए क्या बड़ी बात है, ये तो 40 भी भाग जाते, 50 भी भाग जाते, 65 भी इन्होंने कर लिया है. So for them it was like, ठीक है, कौन सी बहुत बड़ी
Mm.
बात है, कर लेंगे, बहुत आसान है इनके लिए. But that is not the case for us as runners. I think all the runners who will be listening to this, all of you know that every day is a challenge for us too.
Every day. Even every
Every
second is
morning
a
when
challenge.
yeah,
Mm.
every morning when we go out for a run, we have
Mm.
a plan in hand, whether it
Yeah.
is the speed, whether it is the tempo, whether it is the hill intervals, whether it is the long distance run. So every morning, somewhere there is one doubt कि
Mm.
यार आज ये मुझसे हो पाएगा या नहीं हो पाएगा. For some reason or
Absolutely.
the other, when you have the speed days, I have my kilometer reps, I have my 400-meter reps, I have my hill reps. So before starting, once that thought comes, यार टफ है आज बहुत, यार अब
Perfect.
कैसे होगा. you know तो
Exactly.
ऐसा कभी नहीं
Unpredictable.
होता कि वो इंसान अरे कुछ नहीं,
As
ये तो होने ही
I am
वाला है.
confident, Aaj I'll rock it. It is never like that.
Even if
Same
it's
as
an
I
easy
yeah.
run, like
Mm.
for a 15 kilometer, whatever, irrespective of paces, but somewhere you feel आज यार कैसा होगा ये. So that thought is always there.
Yes.
So one has to understand that it is not easy for anybody, not
Mm.
easy for anybody. Everybody, uh, I am very sure, the more you level up, the more difficult the journey
Yeah.
becomes,
Yes.
because your training on a daily become basis is very intensive.
I think that-
Your recovery should be strong because you don't have to do it once a week. You have to
Yeah.
get up every day,
It's
again be
not very
on your
simple.
toes on the road on the next day. So your body should recover also. It should be able to take that training load, which is very important. So
Yes.
it's not a one day game. You have to go on and on and on and on and on till you are. I think for me it would, I would say, like, till I till I am here, I wish to run. I
Yeah,
wish to run.
exactly. It's yeah.
So
Yes. 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 Uh, yeah, amazing, 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 JD. So far, it's really good and good piece of advice. I think those runners, those who are watching this, or those who will watch this, you can take notes out of it, right? So there's the importance of goal, having a discussion with your coach, with your mentor, and being honest. So far, whatever I have, able to summarize in this talk. So it is like that. It is like that. And next, coming to JD, what? How was it? How was it like this race overall? This race, can you tell a bit about that as well? Like on the race, did this comrades? You
yes,
started your race.
I would definitely want to share the entire experience, not only the race but the travel, the stay, so that
Yes,
whoever
please.
wishes to do this in future, they would get some good inputs. Is it okay if we take a 1 minute short
Yeah, please, please, please,
break?
please,
I'll
please. It is
just
going on.
have some
Yeah,
water and on.
yeah, please, 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 please,
Yeah.
please. You can do that. You can do that. So, guys, just a just 30-second break, and we'll be back. I hope you're excited for this. This is the comrades experience, and he's a finisher over there. And as you have already know, he's like 41, having a full-fledged work and a family life. along with that, he's training and managing all this. So that's how it is. That's how it is. And he's first few people, those who joined Hello Fitness online, and now you've seen the results. So it works, right? And you need not to be in a metro city, or be in certain shape or size, or be in an environment where you feel like you're missing something. It is not like that. You can start at any point of time and wherever you are. As you now, that Jagdeep is from Ahmednagar, and it's a small city, and they don't have access to this stadium and track, but still, still the runners over there, they're very good in number. And even they don't have these flat routes. It's always up and down, up and down. Even that's not a problem. Okay, it's just that you have to train yourself accordingly, as per your fitness level, as per your lifestyle, and as per your environment, and you can achieve such results, right? That's how it is. Right, JD? I hope you are back, ready to go.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, over to you, JD.
Yeah. So now about the race experience. So this year the Comrades was a down run. Comrades is like, for people who don't have an idea, who just know that it's a 90-kilometer run. Comrades generally happens from a city to city. So it is either from Durban to Marisburg, or from Marisburg to Durban. 1 year it goes from Durban to Marisburg, and the next year it comes from Marisburg to Durban. This is how the Comrade generally happens. So
Okay.
when it comes from Marisburg to Durban, it is called as a down run, though it is not a down, but basically
Okay.
because of the difference in the sea levels of the two cities, Marisburg being on the higher level and Durban being on the lower level. So it's called a down run. And when it runs from Durban to Marisburg, it's called the up run. So this year, 2023, it was a down run. We started from Marisburg. The race flag of time was like 5:30 a.m. in the morning. And being a 12-hour cutoff, the race finish time was 5:30 p.m. In Durban. So now
Okay.
this race also has some intermediate cutoffs. There were like 5 intermediate cutoffs, like at a 30-kilometer, at a 45-kilometer, and these are random. These are not that 90 divided by 5 and at an equal
Okay.
distance. These are
Okay.
basically depending on the kind of elevations and the hills that we have to cross. So they have kept those cutoffs. So if at all any runner who cannot pass the intermediate cutoff, or who has crossed 2 3 intermediate cutoffs but cannot cross the fourth or the fifth cutoff,
Mhm.
for him the race is over there
Oh,
only. You are not allowed to go till the finish line also. So unlike other marathons, this is not an end-to-end race. Like for all other marathons, you have a single cutoff,
yeah.
whether it is a half marathon, so you have a cutoff of 3 hours 30
Three
minutes
hours,
all
30
in all.
minutes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So here, this is not the scenario. So the scenario is difficult. So you have to be careful about that also. You have to be careful about the paces, which interval is very short, where you have to, maintain that pace to, overcome that cutoff. So that, so you cannot, you have to run with a conscious, you have to run with a very alert mind. You cannot,
Mind.
just, it's not only about just going, and कि चलो 12 घंटे है हो जाएगा. So that's not the case. You have to be very careful till you cross the last cutoff at 81 kilometers. Many runners, unfortunately, come till that cutoff, but cannot make it just for few seconds or few minutes.
Mhm.
But then ultimately, it is the rule of the
Yeah.
marathon, and
And they are
you
very
even if you are
strict
late by a second.
by a
So this
second.
is,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
So you
understand.
there
Mhm.
you have buses waiting. You are directly asked to board the bus, and they take you back to the stadium.
Mhm. Yes.
So this is about the route. So when we started uh, in Peter Marisburg in the morning, so it was, the temperature was around 4 degrees.
Mhm.
Uh, as we started moving towards Durban, as the sun started coming up, So my Garmin, after when I was reviewing my race statistics after the race, so the maximum temperature that was recorded during the day was 32 degrees. So we
Yeah.
had a very wide
From
variation in the
4 degrees to,
temperature.
yeah.
Yeah, we were advised that we had this idea that the temperature would be very low in the morning, so we should wear proper warm clothes. So I started in my kit, uh, and above that I wore like two dry fit t-shirts and
Mhm.
one jacket. I had gloves, arm sleeves, but still a warm cap. But still, it was very cold when I started the race. And then, as soon as we started, the kilometers started rolling in, the hills came in. So then the body started getting warmer. And then one by one, we had to discard. Like there is no provision that you can run such a long distance carrying all this stuff.
Yeah, getting
So
all the
as
stuff.
and where, and also there is a tradition in South Africa that there are, a lot of needy people who are in need of, warm clothes. So
Yeah.
it is one form of donation. Like, so
Mission,
people
yeah.
always say that you carry some clothes which would be useful to others. Like, don't wear something which, once which is almost at the level of discarding, that nobody else can use it. So it's a form of charity which you can do. So so then I think after 30 kilometers I pulled off my jacket, and and my jacket and gloves. Then after 5 7 kilometers I pulled off my extra t-shirts which I was wearing, and from 35th or 38th kilometer I was in my kit till the finish line. um, there were a lot of elevations, hydration stations, like in our marathon. Every 2 kilometers, we had a hydration station.
Yeah.
Hydration station had all the basics. There was water, electrolytes, bananas, oranges. This was what officially was being served by the marathon committee. Other
Yeah.
than that, one interesting and one best part of the Comrades Marathon is, like all those who have experienced the Tata Mumbai Marathon, there is a huge crowd support
Crowd support. Yeah.
on the
Amazing.
Comrades route
Amazing.
and the entire route. It is not like only at the start line or the finish line, but
Okay.
the entire route as we go through small villages also
It is also
during the course. And in fact, even on the highways, like people specially come down with their families and are there the full day to cheer the runners on the road. So that's a very amazing spirit, which
and
was
it
the
is
first
needed.
time.
Uh,
Yeah, it is
it is
needed,
needed.
and this was the first time I witnessed it, like for such a long distance. And the
Yes.
people coming in, they are so enthusiastic.
Mm.
Yes, now, like, supporters or cheer people who are here to cheer, they serve you. Matlab, they also are so enthusiastic that they want to serve you everything they can.
They can.
So as a runner, but you have to be careful what you
You have to
have
be
to take,
what to
or
take.
because
Don't take
we,
anything you
yeah,
on the way.
like when we were on the hills, there were people who had come with their families and they had put the entire barbecue setups, like they were on a picnic. And
Okay.
they were enjoying themselves, and they were in fact even trying to serve all the barbecue done stuff to the runners also.
To the runners also.
There are people on the roads who serve you beer. They enjoy
Ah,
beers, and they want, they are very kind enough, and they, so but then it is definitely up to you. Now,
yeah.
an ultra marathon or a comrades marathon, I would say the training has 3 4 different parts, 3 4 different aspects. First is the your running training, where you have to, your body needs to be
Get used to
trained to
mileage.
run that distance, number
To
one.
run that distance. Yeah.
Secondly, is your strength and core training,
Yeah.
because your body should be able to take,
The load.
running is one part, like your
Yeah.
cardio is one part, but the
Mhm.
strength of your back, your shoulder, your legs should be enough to, you should be able to stand on your feet for 12 hours. That is one important aspect. third and very important aspect is your nutrition. I
Nutrition.
would say nutrition, and I would say, and here I would definitely want to highlight that I had a very good nutrition support. Like Ishan, I have a very good friend, and she herself is a very learned nutrition sports nutritionist. Her name is Sunanda Dayani. She's from Mumbai. She herself is a Comrades finisher. She has
Mm.
also done the Jaisalmer Hell Race, an ultra runner. So her
Mm.
inputs in term of nutrition and other experiences have definitely helped me here. So nutrition is very important. You need to have a very good race nutrition plan also, because unlike 21s and 10 kilometers, where we are not very keen on even picking up water soon, because
Yeah.
that's more of a time oriented run.
Mm.
But
Yes.
here that will not help. you will
That will
be
not help. Obviously,
you
you have to
will be
consume
drained
something.
out.
Yeah.
You
You
will
have to
be
consume
drained
something.
out if you are not hydrating well on the route. You are not sticking to your race strategy.
Yeah.
So you need to have a proper race nutrition plan which needs to be practiced well. So
Yeah.
like whatever plan I had, I practiced it during my 65 kilometers run, my 56 kilometers long runs, so that my body gets used to it. Like even for the sake of gels, I would say, now when we are running a 21, I never took more than 1 or 2 gels, at the most.
Mm.
But while
Yes.
running the Comrades, after every 8 kilometers, 10 kilometers, it was recommended that I must have one gel to keep the balance, nutrition balance. So after the second or third gel, when for the first time started I tried it in my training, it is very difficult. You cannot take it.
Yeah.
The taste also, and you start feeling so heavy.
Maybe after that.
So your body needs to get used to all those things. It
Mm.
is very important.
Yes.
So whenever you plan to run the Comrades or any other ultra run, I would say
Yeah.
you must have a good race nutrition plan, which is practiced well in advance.
Yes. Absolutely.
Other than that, like after the cutoff, the nutrition, there is one more major challenge which I saw here was generally what happens now, like I had mentioned about the Satara Hill Marathon. So the
Mm.
elevation is very high, but there
Yeah.
the case is like you gradually start going up, 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 up. You go till the peak, you take a U-turn, and then you come down, 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 down,
Directly
down.
down. Got it.
So what happens is your set of muscles for going up, once they get used to it, you have to keep going up, and then once you start coming down, the next set of muscles which are used to come down after 1 or 2 kilometers, they get used to it, and till the end you have to just keep coming down.
Okay.
Here what happens in Comrades is the entire course is rolling hills. So it's not
Mm.
like going up, 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 and finally coming down, down, down. It's like go up, come down, go up, come down, then go more up, come more down, again go little more, little much more up, and again come more down. So what happens is your muscles don't get used to it. By the
Mm.
time your muscles going, which are being used for going up,
Up.
start getting in, they start coming into that synchronization,
Mm.
you have a downhill, and then you have to start coming down. So the entire synchronization is again disturbed. So you
Got
don't get into that momentum. So it is very essential that when you are training, you train on the running, you train on rolling hills,
rolling
which
hills.
we did not. We did not have this experience. That is why I wanted to share this.
Mm. Okay.
Because we always trained like just going on the hills, going up and then coming down.
And
So that
coming
was
down.
what we did.
Yeah. Got it.
So that is one thing which needs to be taken care of. Other than that, cramping is a very big issue. Lot of
Yeah.
runners we have seen. I myself faced a lot of cramping during the
Yes.
training. So it is
Yes.
very essential that you should take all the necessary actions, exercises, nutrition, your pace control when it comes to cramping.
Yes.
Fortunately, um, I was lucky enough that the I could work well on it, and all the effort I put in worked for me. And on the race day, I had zero cramping issue
Yeah.
during the run, post run also. So
Mm.
that was very fortunate for me. Otherwise, I saw a lot of strong runners also
Yes.
who, who unfortunately had to either quit or finish very, they had to drag themselves to the
Happens.
finish line
Finish. Yeah.
just because of the cramping issue,
Yeah.
being very fast and strong otherwise in their routine
Got it.
training runs.
Training
They were
runs and
very
all.
strong and
Mm.
very fast as half marathoners, full marathoners. But
Got
here I feel Comrades is altogether a different ball game.
different. Yeah. Yeah.
Don't consider it or don't compare it to your full and half marathons.
Normal half
You need
marathon.
to have you need to have a total different race strategy, total
Mm.
different race planning, and your training planning also. It is not similar to what we do for half marathons, full marathons. You also need to have to train to walk on very steep hills, because when
Yes.
it comes when you have very steep hills, it is
You cannot
always
run
recommended
off the
that,
street.
yeah, you need
Mm.
to, because the distance is very long. so
Yeah.
so when the inclinations are very heavy, it is generally advised that you should not try to run too fast on the inclinations, because that will wear out your muscles
Without
much
it.
sooner, that will drain
Yes.
your energy much
Train.
sooner, and you have a long distance to go. You have a
Mm.
long distance to go. So it is always, so you need to learn that strategy also. We generally think that if we are good runners, we can walk also very well, but that is not the case. You can try
Yeah.
it and see.
Yeah.
Because
All runners.
when I did it
Runners are
for
not
the
good
first
walkers.
time, yeah. So when I did it for the first time, I felt I could not walk only. What am I doing? Like, what is happening?
Yes.
That elevation was simpler for me to run upon. Like, I felt that I can easily run and cross it. But
Yes.
when I tried to walk in it, I was like, I felt that I would fall down. I did not have that habit of walking against the
Walking.
gravity. We generally
Wow.
walk on flat routes with the gravity. So when you have to walk against the gravity, it is altogether a different ball game.
Mm.
So
Understood.
I would also give this important tip that you must practice to walk on the hills, so that there on the race day it will be simpler for you.
Mm.
Other than that, mm, being a world class marathon, I don't think there was any uh, thing left from the organizer committee when it
In
comes
terms
to
of
the
support and all.
entire
Yeah. Mm.
everything end to end. I don't think
Well
there is
managed.
well managed.
Yeah.
Once you come inside the stadium at the finish line, for international runners, we have the privilege of an international stand. They have a separate enclosure for the international runners.
Okay.
Yeah, that, and you have special then, post run um, snacks and drinks being offered to you. uh,
Got it.
there, and like normal races, you have a physiotherapy there. You
Mhm.
have a medical section there. You
Okay.
have space for stretching. So all in all, when it comes to the race arrangements, I don't think anything can be better than this. They
Okay.
have all the best arrangements that can be done.
Nice, nice, nice. And what about these timings, like the cutoff timings after each and every certain kilometers, you have this cutoff timing. So you were crossing
Yeah,
all that well in time, right?
yeah. Actually, what happened? My first cutoff only, which was at 30 kilometers, I
Okay.
crossed it 1 hour prior. So
Oh,
I was sure that if I maintain the pace, like if I maintain my strategy till then, like if my strategy till 30 kilometers was working well,
working well,
so I
yes.
was sure if I stick to the
Mm.
strategy, definitely the other cutoffs would also go well.
Mm.
And I kept myself in control. I did not get carried away. There were
Yeah.
times when I felt that I have a lot of energy, I can push, but I did not. I always kept it in my mind that till I don't cross the finish line, anything can happen.
Anything can,
So
for
yeah,
sure.
so all
Mm.
I could see was only the finish line. I didn't want to get feel overconfident at any point before crossing the finish line.
Mm.
So I kept myself well in control. Kept, I stick to the paces I was supposed to run on. Though it was a very new course for me, I had no idea how.
Yeah.
I just knew theoretically or whatever I had seen on the map, whatever was
Map.
explained to me, and that how the course would be.
Mm.
So that ways only I had kept it in mind. And once I crossed my 81 kilometer
Final
last
score.
cutoff.
Yeah. Mm.
Then I saw the time, and these Acha Comrades has one more concept. They don't have a single finisher category finisher medal. They have different finisher medals. So like,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, so they have, I think, 9 types of medals.
Okay.
So the sub 12 category, which is from 11 hours to 12 hours, you get a different medal for that.
Different medium.
Then
Okay.
then
Got
there is a sub 11 category, there is a sub 10 category, there is a sub 9 category,
it. Oh.
sub 730 category, and
Mm.
then there is the gold and the silver category.
Okay.
So generally, most of the time, amateur runners like us who attempt the Comrades first time have run with the goal of just finishing it. Nobody
Finishing.
has a time target. So most of them generally land up in the sub 12 category. It is called as the VLC Clafam medal, I think, which is named on the person who had introduced the Comrades Marathon.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The second category, that is the sub 11 category, is the bronze medal, which I got after finishing in 10 hours and 50 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, so this was possible only like when I crossed the 81 kilometer mark and I checked the watch.
Mm.
So somewhere I felt ki if I and I had energy. So somewhere I
Yes.
felt that
Yes.
now is the time. If I put in my energy, I will be able to finish it before the 11-hour mark. Though I had never again dreamt that I would finish the Comrades in sub 11 in my first attempt.
Yeah.
I had never had that in mind, even during the mid race, that I can do it before 11 hours. I felt that the best I could do was 11 hours and 30 minutes. Like if I would do 11:30 also would be awesome, like out of the world
Yeah.
achievement.
Absolutely.
So there I felt a bit confident. I had
Mm.
energy conserved. So I started, then I said, now it's time to push off,
Yes.
and then and somehow my body supported. And in fact, as I had mentioned it to you while
Yeah.
discussing the race
Just
review, so
last split. Yeah.
my last kilometers were the fastest of the
Fastest.
entire race, the last
Yes.
7-8 kilometers. So
Yeah.
that in itself I feel is a big achievement for me, like
Yes.
even
Yes.
after doing such a big distance, if I could
Mm.
finish strong. And this has been my strategy in all the races, not only for Comrades, but whatever I did, when I did my 10Ks, I did my half marathons,
Mm.
I always had this you can say goal or objective, that the I never wanted to finish, in a very, you can say, drained out state.
Drained
Though
out.
my timing would be
Dragging.
very could have been the best than before. But I always had this in mind, yeah, ki last kilometer should be a kilometer, like boss, it should be a killer. You must feel so strong. That's and then I am fond of getting clicked on the route actually. So
Yeah.
I
Fair
know there are a lot of
enough.
photographers close to
Yeah.
the finish line.
True.
So you should look good also, no, when you're crossing the finish line. If you feel so
Ladies a
drained out,
poser.
so
Ladies a
what's the
poser.
point of doing a sub two half marathon, but when you're crossing the finish line and the picture capture shows that you're so drained off, your eyes are closed, your head is down. So I feel it should not be like that. Your stride, when the photographer is capturing you, that stride should be
Should
visible,
be got it.
that smile on the face. So that is one motivation for me. Like, earlier, to when, these people, when I joined the community and I did my first run, I was running with my phone. I was clicking pictures. So
Taking pictures
people
around
like
your.
you, if you run like this, how will you perform? You have to understand what are you, you are here for achieving a time target, but somehow I don't know, but yes, for comrades, I did not do this stunt. For
Mm,
comrades, I did not remove my phone. This was also one very, you can say, difficult part for me to resist the temptation of not uh, removing my phone and clicking pictures
yes.
because I am fond of it.
Mm,
If you are fond of something, it is very difficult to resist it. So
yeah.
I had to learn this. I had to learn. Acha, again, I was so focused that in spite of carrying the headphones with me, I did not put on the music even for a single minute during the entire run. Otherwise, I am generally used to run with the music. And I was told that it's a very long distance, so you must have some provision that at some point of time, if you start feeling bored, or if your motivation is going down, so you can have some music which will, again pump you up.
Got it.
So, but मुझे वो करने की जरूरत ही नहीं पड़ी मतलब it was like the
Mm,
vibe, the spirit on the entire
because the
route of
support.
the fellow
Yeah.
runners, of
Mm,
the crowd support was so
mm,
awesome कि मतलब I never felt कि I have to put the headphone in my ear, like it wasn't required.
got
So
it.
that was one very amazing experience which I feel, that 12 hours you are by yourself in a new country among new people whom you don't know. You can just read their names on the bibs, and on a very new course which you've not even seen. You're
Yes.
running from one city to another city, in the broad daylight with sun on your head, like
Yeah.
the entire afternoon you are running, which again I have never, ran in my life. I have never ran in the afternoon. But it all
Yeah.
happened. It just happened. And that is why, that one day I could realize two things, that like they say that a human is made in such a way that jaisa bhi condition आए ना, the body
Uh,
gets used to it,
get used
which
to
I
it.
which I realized on that day. Ki like,
Mm,
you know
nice.
even in my training runs, I could never run with a water bottle in my hand for hydration. But
Okay.
here, surprisingly, the bottle I took from the hydration station till the last, I had a bottle in my hand, and I
Mm,
never felt discomfort. मुझे लगा ही नहीं कि
not
I am
heavy.
holding some weight. It is
Mm,
heavy or it is irritating. I must change from this hand to this hand, this hand to this hand. So I did not feel that.
mm,
So and this I hadn't practiced because I had the opinion that every 2 kilometers water
you
station
have
is
a
there.
bottle.
Why
Got it.
why pick up
Got it.
water every
Mm,
time? But then when I was here at Durban, the hotel we were staying in, there were a lot of comrade runners there. Met them. A lot of them from India also. Some experienced who had earlier already attempted for a couple of times. So the suggestion what I got was that there are total 44 water stations. If you even stand at every water station to pick up water or electrolytes, and if you even lose a minute, so your
mm,
44 minutes are gone.
gone. Yes.
So you have to understand that it is not about 1 minute there, but it is about the total 44 minutes. So this is one more important strategy, that whenever you're running the comrades or any ultra run which is time bound, you must not stop. You must pick up the
Mm,
water, carry it.
carry it
Matlab,
and get used
while
to
running,
sipping while
while
running.
walking, yeah,
Yeah.
but
Mm,
you don't have to just go stop, get stationary there.
yeah.
So that is one important tip or suggestion which I received, I implemented, and I found it to be very useful.
Yes. It is very useful. Yeah, for sure. Mm. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice, JD. And after finishing this, like you finished in 11 hours
10
and
hours, 50 minutes.
10
10
hours,
hours and
10 hours
50
and
minutes.
50
50
minutes. Okay.
minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
10 hours and 50 minutes. And even after that, you were like pretty okay. How was it like after finishing?
Yeah. So after finishing the cross line, after crossing the finish line also, firstly, I was super, super, super excited. Like, I was like, shit, man, you did this. Firstly, though, you crossed it. And
Yes.
secondly, you crossed it in before 11 hours. So it was like, double achievement. Like, it was like,
Got it.
matlab, I had only that in mind. You boss, you did it, man. Kya matlab, it was like, matlab, it was taking time for me to absorb. I didn't even go to collect the medal immediately.
Okay.
It took me 2 3 minutes to actually uh, accept the fact that I
Yeah.
have actually
Achieving
nailed
this
it,
timing is a
achieved.
recovery for you. Must have
More,
recovered you from all of
yeah, it
that.
definitely did. I was so
Uh,
fresh
so yeah.
first, and then that was the time when my temptation of getting clicked got over. First thing I did was I put my hand in my belt, removed my phone,
Okay.
camera on kiya, I clicked, I took my selfies because I wanted to have that memory how I
Yeah.
looked
Yes.
after
After
crossing
finishing.
the finishing line after the 12 hours.
Mm.
So, uh, and fortunately, matlab, I feel maybe it was the magic of finishing the race. मतलब I did not even, मतलब जितनी थकान मुझे लाइक एक नॉर्मल रेस के बाद होती है लाइक अ हाफ
Mm.
मैराथन और समथिंग, आई थिंक उतनी भी नहीं लगी मुझे. I think because
Mm.
that joy and magic of that accomplishment was so high, the spirits inside, I think there must not be anything right from my hair to my nail, which was like yeah, charged up. Like it was like, I think
Got it.
it was so charged up that I think वो thought of pains and all या कुछ मुझे लगा ही नहीं उसके बाद literally. And then
Mm.
after that I headed to the international stand.
Okay.
Excitement of all the finishers who had finished
Mm.
before me, meeting all of them, so many Indians, all of us in that India journey. Then we had that tricolor flag in our hand.
Okay.
We could click pictures with it.
Got it.
So in all this, कहीं पे भी मतलब I did not even feel कि I have to go and lie down for 2 minutes. थोड़ा rest लेता हूँ. My heart rate is too high. Yeah, I'm
Mm.
feeling too restless. I want to eat something.
Eat
I want to
something.
like want something. मतलब there was nothing. मतलब
Mm.
वैसा वो टाइप वाला कोई भी फील मुझे नहीं आया. Probably not because I would again say it was because till the last kilometer I had stuck to my nutrition plan. I was
Mm.
hydrating. I was taking my electrolytes. I was taking all the gels, whatever was on my plan. So it wasn't कि अभी यार 6 7 किलोमीटर रह गए तो जाने दो ये लास्ट वाला क्यों लेने का. So it
Got it.
wasn't that case. So
Uh,
what if I
Kept
had to
on
have
plan.
had a gel on the 80th kilometer? I did that so that
Mm.
that kept. I feel that kept me energetic.
Yes.
That prevented me from having cramping. That
Mm.
prevented me from immediately going inside and then having that urge to eat something or feeling very low on energy. That wasn't the case. And then
Got
I
it.
had a proper kit bag
Mm.
prepared. Like this Comrades, they have this provision that at the expo only you can have the race kit, what you want after the race. You can put a bag with them and they give it, you get it in the international stand. So
Okay.
I had a
Great.
proper kit bag where I had my post race nutrition also. Like I had kept some energy bars. I
Mm.
had an apple. I had a scoop of whey protein, some water bottles, electrolyte bottles.
Mm.
So after then I got relaxed, took some pictures and all with everybody. Then after 15 20 minutes, I collected my bag first, opened it, took the apple, had some water, some electrolytes, a scoop of whey protein, and that's it. After that, I was there in the stadium for another hour, almost one more hour,
Mm.
roaming around,
Moving
meeting
around.
people,
Got it.
getting pictures clicked.
Got
So
it.
all in all, it was all fresh. And post race, like after that, we went to the hotel, we had a dinner, we slept well. Morning, we woke up on time. It wasn't like we woke up like 11 12 ऐसा कुछ नहीं
Mm.
था. Morning 6, all of
Okay.
us अपने आप ही
Wow.
नींद खुल गया था. Got
Nice.
fresh.
Nice.
Then we went down for breakfast, and from there we were staying on the beach front, on the Durban beach front. The hotel was just right opposite to the beach. So then we
Okay.
went for a walk on the beach also. So
Mm.
we were pretty comfortable that way. No major soreness, no issue in walking. So that ways we were happy.
Very nice. Very nice. So overall, it was like damn good, and you recovered very well. as well.
Yeah, the main, I think, more, I feel my personal achievement more than finishing the distance was recover,
How
staying
well you
recovered
are.
after
Yeah,
the
yeah.
distance.
Yes, yes, yes. Everything fit and fine, no cramps,
Yeah,
nothing,
because
no
I
muscle
was worried
pain.
only about that thing,
Yes,
that I am
yes.
attempting this feat, I will
Mm.
finish it also. But after that, ऐसा कुछ ना आ
After
जाए
that,
सामने कि I have to take a long break or a long
long break.
recovery time. So
Got it.
that I was very scared about that. But luckily, I think because all the things were put well,
Mm.
and
And you executed it very well.
yeah, though, see, one thing is for sure, I will again tell you, any training plan, anything, you cannot do it 100%.
Obviously.
For me also, there were a lot of goof ups. There were
Uh,
times when I skipped on some important trainings, but then I did, that used to worry me also. But then somewhere I had to make, I had to convince myself कि यार ठीक है, जो miss हो गया, but जो
mm.
कर सकते हैं, at least
Focus on
let's
the
keep
next.
doing that.
Yes,
Yeah, rather
yes.
than just, yeah, because I missed that, now I should not do this, or
Mm.
because I missed that, I will not be able to do it. So
Uh,
that wasn't the case. So
got it.
I just kept faith ki whatever I can do, I whatever was possible. Last day I told myself ki yaar, see, whatever happens tomorrow,
Mm.
whatever possible you could do, you have done. So
You've done.
there is no regret. You couldn't have done
Got it.
anything more than what you have done. तो इसमें
Mm.
जो भी होगा ना, so you have to accept that this was the best you could do.
Mm. Got it. Got it. And you must have this attitude,
Yeah,
obviously, like focus on the next thing, don't
right,
regret what you have missed,
right,
and just keep focusing, looking ahead, and do whatever you can do. So that's
right,
the one thing that you have to focus on in order to perform. And perfect, JD. I mean, this is like really amazing to listen to all these stories from
right,
where you started, right? From no running background to running these half marathons, then switching to marathons, and finally to this big big race that is Comrades. And I'm sure the people who will listen to this, or those who are listening this on the YouTube, so you must have learned something, or you will learn something for sure, right? And great piece of advice for each and everyone out there. And it's like JD's joined community very early. So he's one of the very first few members of Hello Fitness, and how from where we have started this WhatsApp group. I was not in that frame of mind forming this group in 2018, but because of him, I formed this group, and now the numbers and all. Perfect. So that's how it all started, and now here we are. So, JD, if you like to sum up like three things that helped you achieve this Comrades Marathon, this result, finishing it in 10 hours and 50 minutes, if I'm not wrong, 50 or 15,
50, 50.
50. Okay, yeah. So finishing it in 10 hours and 50 minutes, and you are managing all this along with your work and family life. So three things that helped you, if you
See,
can
I
summarize.
would say three things. Number one, see, you definitely face a lot of challenges. Now, when I was training for this also, there comes a point, your family, your business, everybody will support you, but there comes a point that they also feel कि यार, what is happening, matlab everything is getting haywired. It is always about running. Like for this particular training, I had to bring down my social commitments a lot, because
Mm.
it was early morning training, aggressive trainings, recovery was required. So so there was some compromise on the work front also, compromise on the family front also, compromise on the friends front also, where I could not, I had to turn down invitations. But then, yes, one thing only I would say, you have to stay focused. If you want to achieve, you have to understand what is your priority. Uh, Now, for me, after signing up, it was a priority. Since I did not, till the time I did not sign up, I was in the phase कि ठीक है, let's see, देखते हैं. But once I signed up, after that I had one thing कि यार, I have signed up, I have to attempt this, and I have to finish this,
Got it.
come what may. So
Got it.
I would say one thing, for anything, if you are setting a goal, aim for it, train for it, and then go for it. Just deciding that you want to do it will not help you.
Will not
In
help you.
fact, then what will happen if you don't achieve it? You get demoralized. So I
Mm,
would say that if you're aiming for something, you have to train for it. And you have
mm,
to train very sincerely. Now, you won't get anything without training, especially in this sport. If you are passionate about this sport or any other sport, because this is all physical activity. This is something that, it is not that somebody can substitute for you. This is
mm,
not something that, you can put in some extra amount of money and you can,
yeah.
upgrade yourself. So this
Mm,
ultimately, even if you hire the best coach of the world, I would say, he is going to give you the plan. You have to execute it.
you have to, yeah,
You have to run. He is not going to run for you.
yeah.
So you have to understand that you have to train for it. And I have, I think everybody in this community is a big, you can say a fan, or a you can say is a big appreciator of Eliud Kipchoge, who has always said
Yeah,
that no human is limited. And
limited.
I always feel that when I saw his project, the INEOS 20,
Uh,
where he did this sub 2
so,
marathon.
mm,
So all I could understand from there was that this man had this mindset that the world wanted him to do something which was unachievable. And
yes.
he trained his mind in a way that he convinced himself that no human is limited. If he
Mm,
decides to do something, he can do it.
he can do it,
So
obviously.
yeah, definitely you have to have a lot of things with it. If it is not like today, if I decide I have to start flying, so I'll start flying. So
Mm,
you have to have things which are practical, which are doable. But if
yes.
your mind plays a major role in it.
Yeah.
So if you are setting up a goal, firstly you must convince yourself that
You will.
firstly you have to definitely set a goal which is achievable. You have
Mm,
to which is practical. And once you have set that goal, you have to set up your own mind that if you decided, you can definitely achieve this goal. And
mm,
but if with all the effort that is required, nothing will come to you easy. Whether it is even running a 5 kilometer, when you start, everything is equally difficult, and it is equally
mm,
difficult for everybody. You have to see where you are today, and you don't have to see where I am today, or Ishan is today, or somebody else is today, because our previous journey, what you are going through today as a beginner, we have gone through the same.
yes.
So it is
Absolutely.
the same journey. This journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So
Single
this is
step.
the story with everybody.
Yeah.
It is a story with everybody. Nobody has just come in and ran his first 21 kilometers on day one with a sub 2 timing. It is not like that.
Yeah.
So you need to put in all the effort. And end of the day, I feel, don't take, as amateur runners, see, we are not professional athletes. All of
Yes.
us, we are doing this,
With
you
work
know
and family. Yeah.
work,
Mm,
family. We are doing it for our personal fitness. We are doing it
yeah.
for our mental fitness.
Mm,
Running is considered to be a good therapy,
yeah.
which releases all your stress with the sweat. So I think, uh, instead of focusing too much on numbers, whether it is the time, whether it is the distance, I think just enjoy the journey. That's
Mm,
important. Just enjoy the journey. Keep these events, medals as your motivation. Just keep them as a source of motivation, that you want to do something in the next 3 months. So the medal is only a motivation for the next 3 months. So I would say that, don't focus that every time you want to go break a barrier, or you just want to do that.
got
Enjoy
it.
the journey, enjoy the
Enjoy the
process. I
process.
would say race is only one day, but the
Mm,
training period, you must enjoy the training period.
training.
That's the
That's the main
bigger
thing.
time.
That's the
You know
main
that
thing.
the 3 months, the six
Uh,
months wherein you are putting, you must enjoy
yeah.
that. Race is one day, it's two
This is
hours,
one day
three
thing.
hours. Go where, and there you don't even understand what you are doing, or what you are. You just start and you want to focus and you want to finish it off. So I
Exactly.
would say enjoy the training process. And yes,
JD, are you there? Your video is freeze. I think We have lost JD. So he'll be back. Yeah, JD,
Hello.
you're back. You're back. You're back.
Yeah,
Yes, you
yeah,
can continue. Yeah.
yeah. So I was mentioning that one, if you want to take up this sport, you must definitely take it uh, under the guidance of a good coach, any good coach. It is
Mm,
not that, I would recommend that you go only with Ishan. Anywhere, whatever is convenient for you, a good learned coach who has a good running background, who understands what running is, who himself is a runner, who has gone through the phases of running. So that is very important. And
mm,
other than that, you must be a part of a good community also, because
yeah.
the community keeps you motivated.
Yeah.
Running
Absolutely.
individually, running alone with a very good coach also will bring you demotivation somewhere. But when you have good running friends, so definitely they level you up. Now, in my case of Comrades, also, I had three more fellow friends from here. All four of us
Mm,
had decided it together that we will attempt this challenge. And because we
yes.
were together, though all of us
Mm,
ran at different paces, we finished in different times. Even in training times, we were running at different paces. But that feeling of being, you have people with you is in itself a next level motivation. It doesn't let you quit, you know. So that's one important. And before I end this journey, we end this session,
yeah.
I would once again want to thank some few people. This gratitude should always be there.
Yeah.
Ishan so is has always been with me. Matlab, I have never taken him as a coach. He's more of like a family. And when it comes to advice on anything in fitness, whether so it's not only goal oriented. I definitely um, first person whom I consult with is him, and I am that confident on him that he would never give me a wrong suggestion. You know, he would always suggest me, advise me something which he is looking for me at a on a long term basis, not for those short term pleasures. Like, today if I feel that, yeah, I want it very desperately, but for a long term, if it is not in my favor, in my fitness favor, in my health favor, so I don't. I am very confident that he never encourages me to take on those kind of stunts that would land me up in a problem somewhere.
Absolutely.
Other than him, all my Hello Fitness friends,
Mm,
community, um, um, definitely they, though I am not physically present in New Delhi, I see them, training in the stadium, running together, clicking pictures. That makes me feel jealous sometimes. But yes, it does motivate me. It does keeps me pepped up. And these people are always on my mind that whenever I achieve something, I perform something, uh, they are there to celebrate my achievement. So that is one thing which keeps me going. Other than these, like my three fellow friends, I would also like to name them, Mr. Yogesh Kharpude, Mr. Vilas Bhojne, and Mr. Gautam Jaibai. They have been with me in this entire journey, uh, till the finish line, also coming back also. So I am thankful to them for being a being a great support. My local support here, Sunny Salve, he has been a very major role. He played a very major role because all the plans that were coming, supervising them, executing them,
yeah.
supporting me here, mm, he has played a very major role. My nutrition coach and friend Sunanda, she has been a great help. She has given me some good tips. And again, I would say nutrition, one thing is very important, which I learned from Ishan only. Nutrition is not about fancy things. It is not
Mm,
about fancy things. I realized it in Comrades. I had very basic nutrition tips. I was on, you can say, on zero supplements, zero powders. I had normal food. She never suggested me to have any fancy food. Everything was dal, roti, rice. Uh,
Mm,
I am a non-vegetarian, so normal chicken, eggs. So it was all that. There was nothing fancy. I never had anything which was
actually,
fancy
not
or
putting
which
this
was,
up. This would be
which,
powerful for many out there.
uh, or having, definitely. See, I am no one to judge how
Mm,
supplements work, whether they are good, they are not good. I have no idea. I am no one from the nutrition background. Uh, but I can only tell that basic, if you are following your basic diet, and some, yes, you definitely need electrolytes. You cannot stay without electrolytes. When you're intensive training, you are training intensively, you are a pure vegetarian, you your protein intake is less. So I think whey protein works well in those cases, because I have seen my friends who were pure vegetarians, so they do take whey protein, they work well. Other than that, there are some recovery supplements also. So now it depends, it's your individual choice.
yeah,
But again, I would say whatever you do it with proper guidance. Don't
right.
just read, or don't just see and follow that. If somebody is taking this, I should also take this and it
Should
will
be.
work for me. Please don't do
Got
that.
it.
Yeah. And
Got
before getting into too much supplementation, please get all
it.
your basic medical checkups done. Keep your family doctor always in consultation. Get your regular checkups. I would say vitamin D3, B12, these basic things
Yeah,
for a
basic.
runner should be done every 6 months.
Yes,
Your CRP,
absolutely.
HRCRPs, because your body is being used in that way.
Yes,
So
yes,
you
yes.
must be careful. Many
Mm,
times you feel fit externally, but internally what is happening we are unaware of.
yes,
So these are
absolutely.
very important things. You need to always be in consultation with your medical practitioners, your nutritionists, so that you can enjoy the process without any damage or interruption
We
to
just
your body.
stop because of all that. Yeah, got it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm,
Another one more important person I would like to name is Mr. Dada Saus Satre. He himself has been a very a successful runner, and he himself is a comrade finisher. He has helped me a lot in understanding the running strategy. He played a major role in planning the running strategy for me, uh, for the comrades. So I am also thankful to him, without which I don't think, because comrades was new to me also, and so his experience, his running strategy plans have helped me to conquer the race.
got it. Especially this distance and up and down. Obviously,
Yes, 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 yes,
it is
yes.
like new alien
Right,
thing when you're attempting it for the very first time. And obviously, you
right.
need support. You summed up very beautifully, JD. Anything else like you would like to mention, like what helped you, or any golden tip that you want to give to our audience, like one golden tip, whatever
Golden
you have
tip,
experienced in running,
I
what.
would again, I would say is don't rush. That's the only thing. Don't rush. Just enjoy the process and go step. It is always said, which I always follow: slow and steady wins the race. So here
Hmm,
also, I have always followed that. That I don't rush. I always go slow. I don't get carried away when a lot of people come and over motivate you. See, it happens in a community when you are. If you're doing good, so people tend to come and tell you, yeah,
yeah,
you're performing well. Yeah, now do this. Now do this.
got
You can
this.
do it. You can do it. See,
Yeah,
they are doing. It's not that they have some wrong intentions. They are also excited for you. So they
yeah.
definitely, they are doing their part, but you have to understand how,
Yes, how
and
to use
you have
this.
to do it. I don't say, okay, today, see, today if I meet anybody, I will not tell everybody that today itself, yeah, next year you must do the comrades. You can
Hmm,
easily do it. It is very easy. Do it, do it, do it. It's not like that. See, okay,
got
you, firstly, it should come from within, that whether you want to do it or not. Anything, not only the comrade. And if you want to do it, when you have to do it, that is also important. It is not
yes.
essential that today you think you have to do something and you have to, you can immediately do it. You have to have that patience also to go through the entire process
Go through the
to
process.
achieve that thing.
Yeah, then enjoy the process and achieve that
Yes.
thing, obviously.
if 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 these things would have been so simply achievable, then everybody would have been doing it. Why
Mm,
they are a class apart is only because you have to level up yourself, and to
yes.
level up you need time. You have to have that patience. It is not an overnight job.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is the only thing I would recommend in the entire running journey. Like even if you're leveling up from a 10K to a 21K, so
Mm,
don't rush. Go with the process. Go easy. Enjoy. Your ultimate goal should be that you keep running, you finish each race strong, not in terms of timing, but in
yeah.
terms of your physical condition. Your body should be ready to roll again on the next day. It shouldn't be that
Yeah.
you do a race well and then 10 days you are not even able to walk properly or even able to resume your workouts.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Very nice, JD. Uh, I think that's a beautiful piece of advice and a perfect way to wrap this up. JD, I think your video is freezed again. So that's JD, guys. If you and it's been more than 70 minutes on this call with JD, and but it's worth it. It's worth, right? I hope. Yeah, JD, you are back. Your video was freezed.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I think some network issues.
yeah, that's fine.
So,
That's fine. You're back.
so it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure for me to share this journey. And the ultimate
Likewise.
agenda was, I just wanted to share this again, not for some, to get that extra attention or some publicity, but it was just that uh, I wanted to make this journey. I wanted people to understand that, sometimes what happens is you are looking for a way and you are not able to find it. So
Hmm.
this was just my way of, maybe if someone finds some way to his starting his fitness journey from here.
Got it. Got it, JD. Your video was freezed again. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you
Ah,
hear me?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Now you're back. Now you're back.
Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect, Diddy. That's a perfect way to wrap it up. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
this
Thank you.
beautiful piece of advice for each and everyone out there, those who want to start journey, how JD started and, having these twisted ankle and all. From there, we started, finished for Tata Mumbai Marathon. Then from there to New Delhi Marathon, then again to Tata Mumbai to qualifying for this Comrade. And finally, he finished Comrade successfully and in a decent, very decent timings. And all the best, JD, for your future races and all,
Thank you.
and
Thank you.
keep
Thank you.
inspiring. And it's an honor to have you in our community. It's a privilege, and
Thank you.
I'm looking forward for more success stories from your side. So
Thank you.
that's JD. And those who want to join the community, there will be a link in the description box. Those who are watching on the YouTube, you just go and hit that link and join my live webinar, and you can be a part of such an amazing community. So thank you so much again, JD, for
Yeah.